Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we talk all things reality TV or whatever. As you see, I am at a new setup. Mind your business.
Ooh, a secret location, child.
Secret location, bitch. I'm your host, Sparrow. We joined by our wonderful co-host, Lily. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Once again, we're trucking along with Miss Survivor.
We're finna merge.
I think this is a pretty cute episode, honestly, though. Twists and turns. The team who I thought was who lost, I did not think was gonna lose, and I honestly didn't expect Gio to go home. Shocked? Not really. I didn't expect it though.
Not shocked. So last tribal, we had the Coco tribe go to tribal, and they voted out Lindsay crazy ass. Whew. So coming back into this
Queen Lindsay.
Starting off this episode, we start off at the Coco tribe, and at the Coco tribe, we see the Coco tribe. We see Cassidy kind of get a lot of diaries, and in her diary, she talks about how, she breaks down what happened last episode, like we didn't see, and then after she does that, she calls out the person who's voted her. She's like, I got to vote. So who might have that been? And at first, Ryan is doing a lot of talking, and it's like, why are you talking?
And it's like, Ryan really jumped, like he was gonna defend Gio, bitch. I know that's right. He said it had nothing. I need to speak with you. And then there was like, but were you the vote, basically? And he was like, I mean, I wasn't the vote, but
whoever was the vote, you need to calm down, Buki.
But she was like, okay, but if you're not the vote, then I need to speak to who? Do I need to speak to the Gio? Like, what's tea? And I was confused too, because like, Ryan, babe, this isn't your fight. Pick your battles, babe. Please, daddy. Do not get sent home.
Please, daddy. So Gio ends up going off with Cassidy, and they talk. And essentially, Gio is the liar of the century, y'all. Because Gio said, well, what happened was Ryan told me to throw a vote on you, just in case. But this was all, Ryan is the one who told me to do it. And it's like, Ryan was just defending you down. But hey.
He threw him right under the bus. You don't walk around. You don't walk around supporting the girls, because one thing about it, they will throw you under the bus like it's nothing. Like, Gio was so nasty for that.
Girl. And Gio's diary rooms all episode was embarrassing. Secondhand embarrassment. Because this is diary room after the conversation. I mean, I did Cassidy, but I don't even care to tell her because she's going home anyways. I mean, we have a big 4 majority. All 4 of us is finna be rocking it out. And we finna rock it all the way until Cassidy gets voted out. And Cassidy is not that girl. And Cassidy is going the fuck home. And I'm big chilling. And it's like,
ooh, you don't know what the is going on, do you, sister?
And then we have to, of course, get our narrator before we leave this tribe. So Carla has a diary room.
Oh, yes. We always hear from the narrator.
Always. From the queen. It's who we always will hear from.
Miss Carla. Carla Cruz.
So, hi, guys. Everybody in the chat saying hi. Hi. So Carla says Gio and Ryan have big heads, and I want them to have big heads. And I know Ryan has multiple big heads. So, I mean, hey, I support. I do. So she's like, I'm definitely going to pretend that I'm going to stroke their ego. I will be stroking a lot of what Ryan has.
I would definitely be stroking a lot.
I was sitting in Carla vibes that day. That must have been like my birthday or something, because Carla was saying all the right words, in all the right places.
I'm upset because I really wanted Carla to work with them, Gio and Ryan. I love them as a trio with a 4 with James, Shab, but they went with Cassidy.
Look at this. What's up, Sappy Panda? First of all, Sappy Panda, shout out to you, because girl, look, Sappy Panda said, love your Q&A video. Y'all go watch our Q&A. Go watch our Q&A. Like, pause on Survivor, go watch our Q&A. We answered some questions.
Don't pause. Keep watching, definitely.
Keep watching. But, when you're done, come back. But yes, thank you so much. You're the best. So after this, we go to the Baka tribe. And like, we just spent so much time there that I didn't care about. So much shit happened, I didn't care.
Like, the edit was so quick this time around that it was like, okay, we got this little bit from Coco, and then we got damn near the rest of the episode from Baka. So I'm like, and then we got nothing from Vessi. So I'm thinking, okay, of course a Bakken is going home, as they should.
So we started off, and we see dumbass Ellie and her sister Janine. They're out looking for the item. So they're looking for the idol. They're trying to sneakily do it, but it's like, are you being sneaky for real? And eventually, Janine is like, this is giving, or one of them was like, this is giving a Survivor treat. This tree right here, it just gives Survivor item.
Right. And I was like, okay,
so they gagged it. So Janine goes and looks, and she scopes around, and there's this big ass ant pile. And within the ant pile, there is a beware advantage. She picks it up.
Girl, it had ants all over that tree. Mind you, she reading it. She just, it's like, I would need to watch.
I would have to,
because you know that would have been
like, it would have been a bad one because I hate ants. Ants are like I'm not an anti-bug, but like
I'm anti-bug.
I like bugs, but
I feel like ants are the most annoying insect because they're so persistent. No matter how many times you kill them, no matter how many times you get them away,
they cousin gonna come, cousin coming, dad coming, uncle coming, sister, brother.
That was just birthed 5 seconds ago.
We just killed y'all. We just killed your sister, and you coming for real? Girl, the only ants I like is the ants from the Pixar movie, the Disney movie.
Period.
Period. So Janine finds her beware advantage. This is what I don't like about Janine. Like I like Janine a little bit, but the one quality I don't like is that she just gives understudy.
Yeah,
and I hate it because why when you find it, it's not the fact that she told Ellie. It's the fact that she
ran to Ellie like a little. Oh yes, I need to go tell her really quickly, and it was just like Janine.
Like that's her mama.
Mind you, Ellie is not aware.
It's okay. Open it back.
And then, mind you, my thing is she's going to Ellie, but Ellie isn't fully aware of the tribe dynamic. So she's getting advice on how to use it and what they should do with it from someone who don't know what the fuck is going on. It's the blind leading the blind, child.
Blind leading the blind, leading the blind, leading the blind, y'all. It's bad over there at Baka.
It really is.
I'm surprised they made it to merge, but hey, I guess they made it. Why? It's so many of them.
I'm mad.
It's the most of them at merge. It's 5 of them, 4 of the other.
Mariah was robbed. I will never forget. I will never forget.
I'm hoping the edit is giving Ellie first boot at merge and not anybody else. Like, hopefully this round, Ellie is gone because let me stop hoping bad shit because that's when shit don't happen. So I'm
just she go in and win the game.
Hopefully everybody else does well. Hopefully everyone, whatever God, whatever shit. So Janine goes to her master and asks her if she is going to be allowed to open this beware event. Should I do it? And Ellie was like, girl, do it. I mean, we got the votes. And
then this is what gagged me because she told her, we don't need your vote. We have the votes to get out Gabler without you. Mind you, I mean, she don't know, obviously. But we've been seeing the boys, Gabler, Owen, and Sammy, all been teaming up these last few weeks, plotting against the both of them. So the fact that she was so confident in her answer,
so Janine decides that she's going to open it. And she has a diary room and she mentions, she's like, Owen is a nervous player. So it seems like he's on the outs. And we have our 3 with Sammy and Gabler. Everyone's going to vote Gabler. So
mind you, I haven't seen Janine have one conversation with Sammy. But we moved.
Not one. So she has the same challenge as the other 2 people who had the beware advantage, which is to try to get the beads, a specific bead from the tribe. Y'all know the fucking shit.
Now she went to work real quick. Okay.
She quickly went to work. So she said she's gonna just go ahead and let people. Well, actually, she is telling Ellie, so Ellie already knows she needs to give it to her. And Ellie goes to work on Sammy. So Ellie speaks to Sammy and she tells Sammy before she even first.
Yeah.
Girl, so they're gagging about how they're gonna get the beads, and we don't need to tell so and so about the idol. They say we don't need to tell Owen about the idol. Why Owen? Where does TV at? Like, goddamn. So Owen walks up, and as Owen walks up, they trying to. First of all, they're not moving fast enough for me.
At all.
Me, I would have acted like I dropped my water. You scared me. Like, I don't know.
But then when it looks suspicious, and then you can see you can see Janine trying to squeeze the invention in her little hand, and it's just like, girl, it's sticking out. We can all see it.
So Owen's like, what was that? And they was like, nothing.
He really called them the fuck out.
He was like, be for real. He was like, BFFR. He was like, so anyway, what does it say? And they were like, oh, you want to see?
Like, but no. They weren't. Ellie
was doing all the speaking.
I guess we should go ahead and tell you. It's like, girl, this is not your event.
So Ellie decides that she's going to allow Owen to know. And Owen is now privy to all of the information. And Owen has a few diary rooms. And in these diary rooms, he's like, I am working with Gabler and Sammy. However, Gabler is very, very erratic. So I do want to keep my eggs in a lot of baskets. And one of those baskets is going to be Ellie and Janine. So I feel like I should he says I could gag the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
And just refuse to give them my beads, which would be hilarious. I kind of wish he went that route, but we moved. But he was like, he wants to keep it smart.
That was a pretty interesting diary room because I feel like Sammy is kind of fully saying he's with the guys. I'm with Gabler. I'm with Owen. He's going back and telling Gabler everything. And you see Owen kind of like, I'm not too much feeling that. And with a merge coming up, you really don't know. Like, will all all 5 of them stick together now? Like, I'm really interested to see where that's gonna go.
Mm-hmm. So,
what was that?
I don't know. I just like Owen. So they decide
you are a man. Act like it.
Owen decided Owen is a man too.
He really is.
And he stays acting like it.
And so is Ryan. At the same time? Let me stop.
We have people wives on here. Okay, so Ellie, what happens? This is when Ellie goes to Sammy. After Owen has his diary room, they tell him, Ellie then talks to Sammy, and she offers up, like Lee said, as if this is her advantage. It's like, it's not my thing to tell, but Janine has the idol. She has the beware advantage, and we need your beads because you're with us. And honestly, Ellie's delusion and Janine's delusion is helping them because them telling him that they have the idol and we need your beads, it puts him in a bind. He can't say no without them catching on to him.
Exactly.
So in a way, she forced the fuck out of Sammy to just go ahead and do it. So at that point, all they needed was Gabler.
Yeah, I think it's just sad that like she's telling everything to say, like the way she kind of approaches and give information to the people around her is very clear that Ellie thinks she just has this tribe on lock, and it's like you can tell she thinks she is Shan, she thinks she is the Omer, and it's like, girl, you none of that, none of that.
You are Lydia, no shade,
no shade.
So this is when Janine has to try to get her bracelet thing from Gabler. She pretends she's trying to make a bracelet to have a memory of everybody and whoop, blah, 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 blah. She asks Gabler, she's like, can I have some? And Gabler's like, there's certain ones I kind of want for my daughter. Mm-hmm. And she was like, we could trade. And then so they trade, she gets it, boom.
Yeah.
So after that, we go to commercial, we come back, immunity challenge. So at the immunity challenge, and at this point, it's very obvious that Vesey is not going to tribal because Vesey's just not going to tribal.
It's crazy. It's like
I don't know what to tell you.
This is just like such a quick episode. I feel like it went by like boom, 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 over.
I think that's what they need to. That's why they need to stop these treks because they tried to save time for the treks.
Exactly.
And I think
the trek is like it's such an irrelevant part. Like especially because it didn't even matter.
Exactly.
Like the person who got the advantage literally went home.
First of all, he went home. Second of all, we already know what it is, so the whole lead up to it means nothing anymore.
I guess so we can see them bond and make relationships.
They didn't bond. They didn't make relations. If it's something like what happened with Shan and Liana, show it. If not, you didn't have to show it. You could have. It could have literally went boom, immunity challenge over, or the talk, whatever. Once they got to the scene, it could have been them at the little risk. Boom. It could have been them right there at the risk already. Are we risking our vote or not? Boom, flip it over. Boom, they all risk. Like we could have moved right the fuck along, and then there could have been Vesey content or like some type of.
Yeah, the fact that we got 0 from the Vesey tribe, it's like, oh, y'all did not have time, did you?
At all.
I wanted to see Jesse and Dwight and Cody and what's the other name? I forgot her name.
Girl, you don't want to see
Noelle?
Yes.
We
that girl.
move.
Will she be winning? Doubt it. Because why I don't know why we forgot her name. Okay, so
Oh, get to it, girl. You got it, sister.
Girl, when I get nervous.
Sound it out.
The immunity the immunity challenge is they will all be tied together by these ropes. You will have to navigate through these obstacles. One of the obstacles is a bundle of sticks. That made me think of a word. And then the next obstacle is like a hurdle. They're like hurdles. You have to go up and under and over and under. After that, you have to fill your bucket with water. Once you fill your bucket with water, you got to go over the seesaw, pour the bucket of water in the other bucket. That bucket is going to release a wall. Then you can go through that wall. Once you go through that wall, you're going to have 3 balls that you have to land perfectly on top of a ramp that is a level part of the ramp. If the first 2 tribes to do that are immune, and then blah, blah, blah. So we get to the motherfucking thing. First of all, Carla is sitting out for Cuoco. Gabler is sitting out for Baca. And boom, we start the challenge. So quite immediately, Vesey is kind of doing pretty good at the stick part of it. And Coco is second. So throughout most of the challenge, Baca is in last place. All of the challenge. to the very end. Baca is in last place. So it's kind of a battle between Vessi and Coco because it's first time Vessi was in the lead. Then the next, the hurdles, Coco ended up in the lead. And then Coco got their water first. And Coco was able to get the ramp to lower so that they can get through the little water bucket challenge first. So we move. And when we get to the balls, Coco is the first at the ball.
And it's like, oh my God. Because if you recall last episode, them other tribes ganged up on Coco. And it was just real nasty. It was real nasty, like, which sent Lindsay into a spiral. She got cracked out of the game. So it's just like, I was so happy to see them doing so well. You know, they're going to get their karma. And then, it was just nasty for them.
I don't know. Like, I feel like somebody said the challenge was cute. Somebody said those shine seesaws destroyed the fuck out of Missy's legs. That shit look hard. Like, if I haven't ate, they're on day 11. I haven't ate for 11 days. Them sticks would have failed. Them hurdles, I don't feel like doing it. The seesaw, they said that it hurts.
It would have been giving NECA, child. No shade.
Oh, God. Now, why she in it?
Why she gotta catch strays?
Why she gotta catch strays? So Ryan is the one who's doing the balls for Coco, and this is important because we
always doing the brunt of the work. And that's the thing. Yeah. These last two, they have been doing kind of bad at the end, and that's mainly Ryan at the end. But Ryan been the main one pulling this tribe all season. So my man is tired. He needs to rest.
I know that's the fuck right.
Get somebody else out there to do it. James ain't doing nothing.
So Ryan is doing the balls, and that's very important. We see Dwight is doing the balls for the Vessi tribe, and Sammy is doing the balls for. It seems like the same three niggas. Whenever it's like an individual person, it's the same people.
It really is.
So Ryan gets a ball first, then Dwight gets a ball. So Vessi, Baca is still in last once again because last competition
they needed help by Vessi.
They needed help both these times because we'll get to it. Dwight ends up getting his second ball, and then Coco gets their second ball. So we're tied at this point between Coco and Vessi, but then boom, Dwight ends up winning. Boom, we don't see no more of
Vessi. And that's the last. Well, no, we see him again for a split second, but
girl, barely. So after that, we see Ryan is trying to get his third ball. Sammy ends up getting his second, and Ryan is still trying to get his third ball. Boom, he knocks all his balls down.
And it's like,
we hear why later, though. We do hear why later. So Baca ends up winning the tribal, and so that means
undeservingly so.
Undeservingly. So that means Coco is going to be going to tribal council once again, 2 times in a row.
But
first, Jeff says, Vessi tribe, choose one person from Coco to go on a trek. Choose one person from Baca to go on a trek, and choose one of y'all to go on a trek. Y'all, this trek literally doesn't matter. They choose Gio, Janine, and who else? Jesse. So Gio, Janine, and Jesse are gonna go on the trek. I guess it matters because they don't have their votes, but that's stupid too. We move. So they're gonna go on the trek, and this is when we start hearing diary rooms from Ryan. Ryan done said, "I threw that challenge,"
and it's like, Ryan, I can't defend you no more. Like, that's when I have to stop. You know what I mean? I was sitting up here really going hard for you, Daddy. You know.
You know what?
I never understand that. I never understand people throwing a challenge in Survivor. Like, this is a numbers game, babe. Y'all had 6, and now you're going into America 4. After just being ganged up on by 2 tribes. What sense did that make, baby? Like I said, he gotta be tired. That brain, the math isn't mathing. The Survivor isn't survivoring. Okay, he's not outwitting nobody.
Barely outlasting.
Very barely.
And choosing not to outplay. Okay, so this is when we see the Coco tribe. We go to the Coco tribe after they lose the challenge. And Ryan has a plan. And it just gets worse for Ryan. Like, I guess at least he didn't go home, but whew. So Ryan decides that he is going to pretend that he is the vote because he knows for a fact that 4 people are all ganging up and voting Cassidy. It's a web. We're in a web, and she's caught in our web, and there's nowhere she can go, and there's nowhere she can move. He was
Tiffany Mitchell, child. He really thought.
Mind you, he was Sarah Beth. So let me shut up. They want me to be nice. Okay, so Ryan decides that he's going to start telling everybody, let Cassidy know that I'm the vote. The next scene is James. Girl, Cassidy, Ryan trying to lie and do all this other shit. James might win this fucking game. Because the way they're editing James,
I think so too. I think very good edit.
I feel like him being the one who told Cassidy, them editing it as him kind of like gagging James a bit. And then also, he was the first person to kind of talk about how Ryan's actually going to go home. Mm-hmm. Instead of Carla. Usually it's Carla. This time, James was like, girl, but we're voting Gio.
Yeah, Gio.
That Gio is going home. And Cassidy was like, Gio? He was like, yeah. And she was like, but I mean, Ryan is a bit of a threat and he's voting me. And I feel like
he's not going. And the thing is, they were not going to risk getting on Ryan. Like I said, Ryan has been doing the most of the work in these challenges.
The most of the work.
We cannot risk getting him out. Be serious for once, Cassidy, please. Mm-hmm. Cassidy's really lucky that she's not getting voted in general.
Literally.
James and Carla can do what the fuck they want, which they kind of explore later on.
So Cassidy's worried because Gio's on the trek. So she knows somebody on the trek could easily get an advantage. Yeah. And that's why she's worried to not vote Gio, to vote Gio, but girl, does she have any power? Quite literally.
She does not.
So we go to the journey. Now. We go to the journey. It's Daddy Jesse. Yeah. Janine and Gio, they're on the journey and they're pulling up on a boat and they're like, oh, it seems like we could just walk up here and that's it. But then they quickly realize that they're going to have to take a dinghy, like a little ass rowboat, and they're going to have to paddle their ass. It's a paddle boat.
And it's like they make them do all of this extra work for what? To lose a vote? To go home with a power? Be serious, Jeff.
So they paddle to the risk a vote, not risk a vote. I'm not going to do the bullshit. Gio is trying to pretend that he's at the bottom of the tribe, so maybe they won't risk it. It doesn't work. All three of them risk it, and then boom, we go back to the tribe. I don't have time.
I will say I do. I really like Gio's, I feel like I like that he's always active. I like that he's always active in gameplay. Like, it can come off as very sporadic and I feel like chaotic, but I do think there's purpose to it. I mean, it didn't work in this case. Knew that it worked last time, but at least he's not just sitting there or, in my opinion, doing dumb shit like Ryan. No shade. I feel like Gio is doing things that could actually benefit him if people took him seriously. I just don't think people take him that seriously.
Gio reminds me of a casting choice from old Survivor. I could see if Gio was on a season 6, him low-key not even going home this round. Gio's the type, if it was old Survivor, he ends up making the top 5 and then goes home, like a Courtney Yates type shit. I don't know. He just gives
I can see that
comedic, no one takes him seriously, but he also just ends up making it to the end type person.
But didn't happen this time.
That's not right. So they all three end up risking their vote, and then we go back to their tribes. We start off at the Vesey tribe. Jesse says, I'm just going to open it in front of them, tell them the tea. So he tells them the tea, opens it in front of them, and he does not have a vote at the next tribal council.
And this is interesting because what we're seeing from the preview is that the next tribal may be a merge type situation. Now, we know prior to when they would do a merge, it usually would be after one more round, wouldn't it? And then they do the whole, we're going to break it to 2 separate people, hourglass,
Now, it's top 13. It's top 13.
Exactly. So they're going to bring them together at top 13. From the preview, I don't think it's going to be a merge. I think it's going to be some other, you have to do this and then get to merge. So maybe it's a top 12 merge, which is interesting and new. But it's going to be interesting because I'm assuming he won't have his vote along with Janine, which we'll get into. And it's I wonder how that's going to really affect them going forward because, they only have 4 people. It's really all over the place, I feel like, especially with type of player, because I think we have a lot of people who are kind of on even playing field. So that's just going to be interesting.
Sure. So we go to the Baka tribe. Janine says that she wants to open it alone first, and then she'll decide what she'll do after.
And I really like Janine. I feel like Janine always has really smart initial strategy. Even back when Janine was being delusional about getting out Mariah, she was like, I don't think we should get out Mariah because the guys may stick together and that'll be bad for us. And that's exactly what happened. And even while it's happening, she has Ellie literally bullshitting her in her face. What Janine needs is for Ellie to go home and for her to link up with someone that actually wants to work with her. I feel like Janine needs to link up with Owen. I think we need to build because they had and they showed it in the edit. They showed Owen, trying to make a relationship with Ellie and Janine, but we saw it a lot with Janine. So Ellie needs to go. She need to hook up with Owen, and they take it to the end, some shit like that. Because I think Janine is a really smart player if she had a smart partner. Ellie is dumb. No shade. Okay, it's not getting
I agree.
anything.
She's leading her like to.
It's the blind leading the blind. Janine deserves so much better. So much better.
So much better. So then Janine goes, she finds out she does not get it. She loses her vote. So Janine goes and tells her tribe she does not have a vote. So Janine doesn't have a vote going into this merge. And Jesse
it's like, ooh.
does not have a vote going
and
into
my thing
merge.
is, I trust Jesse. I don't trust Janine without a vote. Because even though she has the idol, like I said, she has Ellie steering her wrong. Now, I think what's going to be interesting, does Baka stick together as a 5? I feel like Vessi 100% sits together as a 4. 100%. I feel like Coco, Glen Coco, I can see them sticking together as a 4 because, Ryan seems like someone who's just down with a ride. James and Carla are interested in working each other. And then Cassidy, she's a good little 4. Now, Baka, I don't know.
It's giving Sammy's going to... Y'all, tell me why Ellie thought she was running us and da-da-da-da. Like, he's finna...
Exactly. And what's interesting, too, Gabler still has an idol that can be played at a next tribal council. So he also has his idol. So this could really go a lot of
ways. Who
ways.
has an idol? Jesse? Carla?
Janine, Carla, Gabler. Gabler had one for his first 2 tribals, but he only had... remember that? He got it from the event. He had one for his first 2 tribals, so he still has the one.
What does Noelle have?
Noelle has a vote
still a vote. Child.
And Gio had an knowledge is power advantage.
And I like the knowledge is power advantage. But let's get to it.
Well, it never get used right.
Girl. Or used at all. So Coco Tribe, we see Gio says that he wants to straight up lie to them. So Gio straight up lies to them. He tells everybody initially that he does not have he did not risk his vote.
And one thing Jay want to do is lie, bitch.
Lie Gio, and not care.
With ease, straight through his motherfucking teeth. He don't give a fuck. You can ask Gio, it's the sky blue, child. It is purple with green clouds.
So he lies, and then after he's done lying, he talks to Queen Carla. And he tells Queen Carla the truth.
Because everyone always checks with Mother first. If you want something, then you're going to check with Carla. I know that's motherfucking right.
You need to check
You need the approval. Yeah.
the stamp of approval. So he told Carla, and Carla's reaction was kind of like, wait a damn minute. Because at this point, Cassidy had convinced him to vote Ryan, which we weren't necessarily sure about until this next conversation.
Yeah.
But at this point, they were going to just vote Ryan. But Carla was like, ooh, it's giving we need to vote Gio because I have an advantage. And if he is still an advantage, we don't need that in the game at all.
And that is why, first of all, it is called knowledge is power. That means if you have the knowledge, baby, you have the power. So why are you sharing that knowledge with other people?
With him personally, he opened it with her. He didn't have a choice to lie.
To open it with her.
He didn't, but at least he didn't know it was knowledge is power. Them other girls,
babe, it doesn't matter. That's why I like Janine open it alone. She even opened with her master Ellie. She went open it alone. You go open it alone and then see what you can talk to with other people. Because look at it, it's a knowledge is power. You opened it with another person. You already fucked up because first of all, I call it the Liana advantage because Mother will be known for something. I fear, but it's cursed. It is cursed. It reminds me of the twist on Ghost Island. Remember, it was all these twists that are cursed. Knowledge is power is cursed as fuck, okay? And no one has been able to reverse the curse. Liana messed up, Drea messed up, and this man hit home with it. And I feel like it's all because they shared it. And it's literally in the name. Knowledge is power. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And the thing is, that's how you know it's all about sharing the information because I personally feel like Carla was overreacting. Even if Gio knew she had the advantage, I don't think he would have told it from her because he likes her a lot. But telling her that information made her paranoid, and now you sitting at home with a goddamn souvenir. Don't tell nobody because if he had never told her, Gio wouldn't be going anywhere.
Ryan would have went home. Child.
I just don't understand, especially because now you have the knowledge that the fucking shit got fucked up before. He said he's never seen it used before, used correctly before. So, and I know they left while season 42 was airing, so I'm not sure if he saw Drea or not. But shit, I mean, Liana should have taught you something.
So Carla goes, and she has decided Gio needs to go. So she tells James, her bestie, and Cassidy, it's giving we're voting Gio. And Cassidy starts to get shaken up a little bit. She's like, wait, but what about Ryan? And she's like, well, Gio has the knowledge power advantage, so he needs to go.
Cassidy needs to realize real quick, baby, you ain't got nobody's power. You have to
no power. And you won't. And they kind of have edited her a little well, so it's like maybe in merge she'll do something real cute. But you ain't got nobody's power, baby. Please hush, little girl. So Carla, I just felt like that's what it was giving. Because Carla and James was like, we can just vote her out, no?
They really did. No, and I feel so bad because James was like, I mean, she's starting to act like Lindsay. We told Lindsay the plan. She wasn't cool with it. And then she went home. And I was just like, I feel bad because Cassidy wasn't even getting cracked out. Cassidy was genuinely concerned. She was just and like, Carla was like, oh, she don't want to do it? Well, she can go home. it gave what's her name, Victoria, if you can. You want me to put a best? You want to go home?
Do you want to go home? So Cassidy had to quickly calm the fuck down.
She had to get into her place real quick because she was really about to go. And I really hope now that they chose her, I think they're a really interesting trio. Especially going into a merge situation. I think that Cassidy is set up really well, I think, probably to go for it if she makes it into a merge scenario. But like, she gonna need better allies because
they don't give.
They're not helping her at all.
She got the two least loyal people. I think James is a little loyal, but Carla.
They loyal to each other, maybe.
She got the two least loyal people in the damn game.
She walked away for 2 seconds. They was like, well, maybe she can go. Y'all, Survivor is so crazy. Imagine you talking with somebody. Hey girl, how you doing? I don't know who going home. I'm glad we're in alliance and safe. You walk away for 2 seconds and I definitely think she should go home. Yeah, like
damn. So we get to tribal council. And the tribal council section, it don't be gagging just yet. Like, what happens to live tribals?
The girl's not getting up no more. That's how you know this season low-key kinda on the mid tier so far. Hopefully it picks up in Jerry. There are a lot of Survivor seasons that pick up when it hits merge. So maybe this could be one of those seasons. I'm not too sure because I do feel like this cast overall is pretty mellow, just chill. Like I think none of them have that type of chaotic strategy. I feel like Gio was one of the people who had it the most and no one listened to him. So I feel like it could potentially stay the way it is, but I feel like there's so many people who are thinkers, who are gamers that are going into this merge. So I think it could get interesting per se, but we'll see, Chad.
We'll see. So at Tribal Council, Jeff asks Cassidy a question about momentum because they had been winning the first 3 challenges. And then they have started losing. And he's like, do you think momentum is something that's real? Is it just fake? And Cassidy, she was like, she feels like it's real and she hopes that they get it back. Hopefully after this, lo and behold, they're going to merge, so it does not matter. He didn't ask Ryan. And basically what we see in the edit is Jeff basically only asked Cassidy and Ryan questions because it was just really Cassidy and Ryan talking. So he asked Ryan the same question and Ryan's like, he feels like it's teamwork and he feels bad that he let his team down. And I told them myself that I wanted them to vote me out. And I thought Jeff was going to gag them. I thought he was going to be like, wait, you told the tribe to vote you out? Like sometimes Jeff kind of breaks it a little bit, but he was still being, I don't know. I feel like if Jeff was a little bit more engaging with that sentence, because when Ryan was like, I told everyone to vote me out, Jeff could have easily been like, you told everybody to vote you out in Survivor? But he did not.
Be serious.
Be for real. But he didn't. So, but he does ask, he's like, Cassidy, do you buy that? Like, is this for real? And Cassidy was like, well, I just think Ryan is a good person and he's a good guy. And she was playing in his face.
And I say all of that. Do you buy that?
Do you buy that? But she played in his face. Nobody really said much. Nobody really
said. And that's what I'm saying. I think for a lot of times, the tribal is what really makes the episode, no matter how boring it is. And this season has just been pretty mid tribals. I mean, ooh. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of like the most interesting one. I think all of them have been pretty like lackluster. I mean, at least a man is going home, but shit, like because it was 4 women in a row, and now Gio, and it's like, well, damn.
So we get to the vote. Gio goes home.
Yeah, honestly, I was shocked.
They were gagged. Ryan said, and Gio said, like they were gagged, and I would have been too. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, well, I genuinely thought Cassidy was going home. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I thought Cassidy was because
I didn't think she was.
You know what? But you know what?
I didn't think she was.
It's because no way they had us watch this man get this advantage to watch him go home with it. Because the thing is, I can't remember who, but there has been a time before where an advantage was gotten, and because they went home, it wasn't shown. I think that has happened before.
That does happen.
And we had no reason to see this.
They showed it because they wanted to because the tribal was probably boring.
I think showing it is their votes.
2 people didn't have their votes, and I feel like Gio going home with it made it. That was the interest. That was supposed to be the interesting part. Like
I wasn't gagged.
Oh, Gio went home with it. Yeah, it's not gag worthy because there's so many advantages now. Everyone goes home with it.
It's oversaturated. Like
anybody can have one. Maybe how about back to basic Survivor? I don't know. Drop the 4, keep the 1. Like I don't know. Like maybe no advantages. I just want something spicy. I feel like saying no advantages is just such a reach. Like, is it gonna be good?
I think they need to stop the 3 tribes, go back to 2 to the 10, and then put them into 3 during the tribe swap. I think tribe swaps are what's kind of causing these seasons to seem so long and drowned out type thing. And then also really tone back the advantage. Just put the shit back on the island because now everyone is so inclined to come back and tell their tribe everything. Oh, there's no reason to lie because everyone knows what the fuck it is. It's so stupid. Like I just feel like these things would work if they were just on the island too. Like they really would. Like I would like for example the idol thing this time getting the beads. I like that. Yeah. I think that was interesting.
I kind of like that.
Island is not a separate thing. No one knows you have an idol. There are idols in the game that no one knows about. So that's interesting. It's just like all of this other extra. Pick one person to go here and da. No one needs that. If it's not part of the actual like when they did like Redemption Island or Immunity Island things like that like. This is just stupid. Advantage Island needs to go. We don't care anymore. We really don't.
It's called the Trek.
It's called stupid. It's called being dumb. Like you said, the only journey that mattered was Liana and Shan. Like that's the only one that I feel like we got any real moment from. Other than that, it's just people talking and walking, and people losing votes.
That's true, child.
I just feel like I definitely really like it's good. That's the thing is Survivor is good regardless, so it really doesn't. I don't think it really matters too much. Like, and we were bound to get a season that probably wasn't as interesting. Because I feel like 41 and 42 were pretty good, especially in comparison to this. But, child, we here.
You
gonna bring it down a little bit?
Yeah, let me bring it down a little bit. It's still up on you?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I got it. I need to put Gio at the bottom. So let's get into this motherfucking rating or whatever. Give me 1 second, because Gio all off and shit, y'all.
Yeah, so I don't like I said, I guess we talk about the preview while Pharaoh gets this together. I just feel like we really did not get a lot of information about whether it's going to be an actual merge or not. I feel like it's definitely not going to be a full merge. I feel like he's just going to have them come together like regular and then whatever the fuck happens. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because I don't think there's going to be an hourglass. He confirmed there is no hourglass this season. So I feel like whatever it is, it won't be something that drastically changes the game too much.
I just feel like they could have just did 2 tribes like this round. Like this episode could have been 2 tribes of 6, 12, 8, 2 tribes of 7. They could have did 2 more rounds of 2 tribes and then merged instead of this random round, which was boring. Yeah. And then another random round that's probably gonna not gag me that much. But hey, we move, girl. I don't know. But girl, we ready. So Gio was eliminated this episode, child. Gray.
Poor Gio.
How do you feel about Gio as an overall player? No shade.
I think I do have to give Gio a 2 overall, just because I feel like it's great that he was an active player, but no one really listened to him. No one really took him seriously. The Liana curse got his ass, child. I didn't expect him to do that well into the game, to be honest, because if you look at his preseason, he just seemed like he didn't fully get the grasp of how the Survivor strategy and things would work. It seemed like he was someone who's watched it, but did you really understand how to play it? It seemed like he had a good base knowledge that allowed him to lie very easily and go for advantages and try to control votes, but it clearly did not. He didn't have it to the extent where he could make these connections that people felt him as a valuable ally. So that's what ended up getting him sent home. Spilling the beans about the knowledge is power. It's just a mess. It was just a mess. It was definitely fun to watch him for the time he's been on here. I love seeing LGBT representation. I love seeing his story. Hope we have more of that. It does suck in general that like the first 4 is women and the 5th is the gay Latino man. It's like, who child? They put more diversity. They just gonna go home back to back. You gotta get used to that. It's nasty, but you know, hey, we moved.
Yeah, I think Gio. I like his activeness, and I think his activeness could have worked in a different scenario. Honestly, if Carla was just slightly a little bit more inclined to work with him just because, then she probably could have. She didn't necessarily have a big reason not to work with Ryan and Gio. It wasn't something they did. It's not like she hated them. It's just she chose the other people. And I feel like if Carla would have just chose Gio and Ryan, Gio could still be in this game.
But I feel like
emerged.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel like one of the reasons why she chose them is because look at Ryan and Gio game wise. Ryan over here talking about something. Make sure I'm devoted and tell him I'm devoted.
I mean, and Lindsay is going crazy and Cassidy is going crazy. So did you choose right?
Well, Lindsay was cracked, but Cassidy I feel like wasn't that cracked. Especially like I would feel comfortable going with Cassidy over Gio and Ryan too, because child, like I said, the thinking isn't thoughting.
That's true. I see what you're saying. So I feel like he has good qualities here and there. I think he's good at girls at 2. Like I didn't even know what I was gonna say no more. He didn't do much. He didn't do much that was good, but he did do like a little bit, and that's that too. Next, let's get to Cassidy. I gave her a 5 last week. I feel like I ate that up because it's giving 5. Like especially that her she did good this round. I think she's good as a player. I definitely think she's surface level. What's it called? Base level. What's the word when you're average? Replacement level. I definitely think she's replacement level, but she hasn't shown more than that. Even this round, we saw like itsy bitsy part of like, ooh, Cassidy doing a little slip up. And I feel like a good player would never even get to the point where their name is out there like for no reason. Cassidy had no reason for her name to be out here this round. In the way that it was by Carla and James. And I feel like that kind of shows a little bit of shakiness in her game. And I just feel like I haven't seen her prove to be a good player. She seems like someone who might try to make a big ass move and then just get the fuck out. Because the way she's playing now, it's like either you're going to do nothing or you have to do something. And if she does something, people are going to be like, Cassidy can go. Because she doesn't necessarily seem to have strong social relationships. James was mostly connected to Carla and Lindsay. So now he's just with Cassidy. And that's why James was so quick to be like, I mean, we could go.
Well, she can go.
Because he didn't care about her. So I feel like she might not be too good at the social connections as much as she should. I'm going to just keep it at 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to bring her down to a 5 as well. Just because kind of what you said. I mean, her name was said this round. And I feel like, honestly, going into merge, she has to rely on Ryan, James, and Carla. She does not have a good relationship with Ryan. And James and Carla, I can definitely see them. If she got to go, she got to go. And that scares me because we don't know how she's going to be able to make connections with the other players. From what we've seen in past seasons, there seemed to be some sense of tribe loyalty, and I just don't know. It just depends on how Coco can, maneuver or merge, especially within one another. I do think there's hope for her, but it honestly just depends because I can definitely see her being an early casualty if Coco becomes targeted in the merge.
I agree. How you feeling about James?
I'm gonna give James an 8. Honestly, I feel like the more I see of James' games, the more I really, really like it. He's proven to be socially really, really great. We've seen Ryan mention him as someone he trusts. We've seen Carla mention him as someone she trusts. Cassidy is actively working with him. I do feel like if Coco is a team that does not fare well when they get to merge. If there's someone who's on the bottom, I can see him being someone that can honestly just socially work his way out of the situation. I feel like at this point he is at the same level of Carla when it comes to influence and maybe power within their numbers. And if he's able to keep that control going into a merge, if they are able to get power, then he'll be right up there with her. The only difference I feel like in their game is that she has the advantage, and she also I do feel like she's more just tactical than him. Because he's more strategic. Like we've seen her suggest things, I feel like more than him on camera. But the more I see him, I just feel like he takes more and more charge for his game. So I just feel like he's on the come up for me. So it's definitely.
I agree. I really, really like James. I think he's the perfect mixture of laying low and playing the game. Like he still puts his foot down when he feels like he should. And he's also good at letting the game flow when he feels like he needs to. I think James is really, really good at this game. What, girl?
He remind me of
who, girl?
What's his name that won?
Which one?
He won Second Chances. Jeremy. I feel like the stoicness, the calmness in his game, because I feel like Jeremy is.
I don't see it.
His winning game. I'm trying to compare the two, especially
because I'm thinking winners at war. I'm thinking.
No. Okay. Like he was really calm in Second Chances. He really allowed moves to happen.
I see that.
He struck at the right moment. I see that for James because he had information. He has the allies. I feel like he has the connections. If he's able to kind of, get to a proposition to make certain moves, then maybe he could work it out. I don't know.
I see that. I actually see that. I think James is very, very good. Like I said, at being at having the perfect balance of when do I need to play the game, when do I need to lay low. And it's so hard for people to have that. And that's why I kind of favor him a little bit more than Carla when it comes to the potential to win. Because Carla is pretty indecisive and shit like that. But I'm going to give James I'm going to keep him at the 7.5. Because going into merge, it's just so up in the air that I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. So I'm going to just keep him there. And then we'll see how it goes from here on. I do think Wednesday merge, James will be good. I don't think he's going to be the one who goes home. I agree with Lee with the fact that James could easily end up in the later half of the season just because of his social games. So that's why he's still that high. With Carla, though, Carla has an idol. But Carla, game-wise, I feel like a part of her, she thrives in this smaller tribe. But the way she plays the game or her indecisiveness, I feel like those things could get exposed in the merge. We've seen a lot of little things about Carla that are questionable gameway wise, like the fact that she didn't grab the idol initially, she put it back. She was very indecisive about who she was going to go with between Ryan and Gio at first, but then she chose Lindsay and them. She was very quick to say Lindsay needs to go, and it's like these were all good decisions. But the fact that she wavers so much, I feel like is the scary part for me. I still think she's a great player. She still has an idol. Clearly, her social game is phenomenal. So I think she'll do good in the merge. So I'll still give her. I think I'll keep her at a 7.5. I think I will. Because she has that idol, and that's a lot.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep her at the 8 that I gave her last time. Just because you're right, I think she does thrive in these smaller tribes. We only have the only information we have is what we've seen so far, which is her on the individual tribes. I don't know how Carla's going to do in the merge. I'm kind of scared for her just because Edgic, as someone who pays attention to that, we've seen a lot of her, and that can go either way. She could be early merge boot. She could be in game. She could potentially be a winner. You never really know. So that's in my head all times. And then also, like you mentioned, the indecisiveness could, I think, really come back to bite her because, they're going to have to be balancing a lot of strategic gameplay, a lot of social gameplay. I do think that Coco could be at a disadvantage when it comes to merge in general because of being ganged up on in the way they were. I don't know if that's going to, curry some favor with the two other tribes to stick together going into merge, but we're definitely going to see. I do feel like Carla is definitely someone who's going to be the biggest, she'll be the biggest victim if their tribe gets targeted. I do feel like she's someone that kind of sticks out. Her and maybe Orion, honestly, but if they're the people that they want to all target as a minority in the merge, then they would just get picked off. So that would be unfortunate. I like I said, honestly, I don't know. The 8 is mainly on the game we've seen so far, because we've seen last season when we did ratings, like we had people going in with 8s and they quickly turned into 6s and 5s.
Yeah, like Romeo was at a 9. I was giving Romeo 9.
Yeah,
and then he merged and he turned into, I don't know what that man turned. That man was doing so good
because the merge is a totally entirely different game. It really is, especially in these situations where there's no swap. These very small tribes. I mean, last time they went in 4 and 4 and 4. So it's just like, and this was like a bigger merge. So I mean, it's all type of possibilities. It really is, and I really don't know how Carla will do. But Mother gets an 8 for her tribe performance. She's been eating it.
How you feeling about Daddy Ryan?
Other than being a daddy, he gets a 10 for being a man. Just a 11. Strong.
He's amazing. Like man. Ryan is the finest man. Like
very beautiful, very beautiful.
Oh, the body yaddy.
The body yaddy is always yaddying, but the game.
Smile, his smile is so nice.
But the game is giving it 3. It's really embarrassing.
Is it even giving it 3? Because you're doing a lot.
It's really bad. I will say, it's a 3 because he's in the game, mainly. But also, I will say, I like that he took some form of initiative, because I did feel like he was going to come in and be a straight up player, honestly, like Gabler. I feel like Gabler isn't taking much initiative. Information is thrown onto him, and he's sitting there with it. You know what I mean? Whereas Ryan, he's trying to be strategic. He purposely threw the challenge. He wanted to make this big Boston Rob move. So I don't know what the fuck. I think he thought he was Tony, Sandra, all the people mixed in one. Like he thought he was going to eat it up, and it was not giving it at all. I like the thought. It makes me see him as someone who is capable potentially of being strategic. I feel like if the 4 is, if the 4 has to work together and you're able to get in a position together, maybe that would be good for him. But, I mean, it hasn't been good. Last round, like I said, he was falling up behind Gio. That wasn't good because Gio didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And this time he was trying to throw himself in front of Gio at the target. It was just a lot. I think he's redeemable though, but for now it's a 3.
Hey, last week I gave him a 4. I only gave him 0.5 above Gio because Gio was a little bit 0.5 less than him. I'm going to give him 0.5 above Gio again. He's going to be a 2.5 for me. I do feel like, no, he's not, because we're merging. Because if we stayed in this tribe, I would feel very, very terribly about him. But since we're merging, it opens up the game so much. However, the thing about Ryan is he hasn't proven to be someone who can take advantage of that. So there's not much we have to know about him, but I will give him that 3 just because of the fact that there's a chance. I feel like if Coco gets targeted, though, Ryan's probably going to be the one to go.
And I can see that because he's a strong competitor.
He's a strong competitor. But that's another thing about being a strong competitor is if they do an individual immunity, oops, he won. Then what?
Like I said, I think Ryan reminds me of Jonathan from last season, whereas Jonathan, like, he wasn't strategically all the way there. But he was someone who, honestly, if they got to the end, well, it depends. That jury was pretty specific.
And Jonathan had a social game, a good social game, according to everybody.
Well, we don't know how good Ryan's social game could be in a merge situation. I just feel like, basically, I was trying to
so far it's not good.
I was trying to compare the ratings in general, though. Jonathan, I kept him pretty low because strategically he just was not fully there, and that's how I feel with Ryan. Even if he gets in a situation where Carla, James, him, and Cassidy are all in a situation where they're running merge, he'll still be pretty low on the totem pole for me because strategically he's just not fully there. So that's kind of what I was comparing. Like, no matter how well he gets in the game, like, he's going to be low strategically until he proves that I feel like, he's actually
he won't be low strategically
moving pieces in the game.
Yeah, I agree. With that being said, we have a usurped. How'd this happen? Oh, we have a usurp because at first last week James had a lower score than Carla. Well, this week they tied, but he's only above her because of his
alphabet.
Yeah, because of alphabet. But hey, I support. We have a black man at the top for her. So James and Carla are tied. They both have 7.5s. We both rated Cassidy a 5, and we both rated Ryan a 3. It's giving accurate down. I do think that the only thing is that since we're merging, all of these things can shift drastically. Yeah. Carla could go in the merge and start screaming and yelling and telling everybody she has an idol. And then we would have to give her, like, it could be crazy.
It's like, Carla, what happened?
Yeah, wait, somebody calling me out. Jonathan's social game good. Come on, y'all. He was physically white man. He was just go. Listen. According to the players, according to the initial edit, all of that bullshit, I don't know. In his tribe, Omar, what was that girl named? Lindsay? Again?
Lindsay didn't like him towards the end.
I said in his tribe initially, everyone liked him. So I don't know what to tell you. When we merged, Mike really liked him. Drea likes him to this day. If y'all go to her Instagram,
yeah, we don't know what that is. I
don't know. People did like him. I'm sorry. I hate that. I don't like that they liked him, but they did. Unfortunately,
and 90% of that is because he's a strong white man, and that's true. And that's what Savvy Panda was trying to say, which we 100% acknowledge. Trust me, we definitely acknowledge that.
But I don't really get it because it was by POC, and like me as a by POC, I don't give a fuck what he was. That's the thing. I understand it when that's the thing. Like with these white men, usually I understand it when there's majority white people in the cast. Now that there's by POC, I'm still noticing a trend of these white men kind of getting coddled a little bit and still liked a lot. And it's like it kind of happened with Kyle. People were still like kind of. Oh, we all like Kyle. Why? Oh.
Well, I think it's just that like these people aren't seen. Like for example, I think specifically with Survivor, like I think Xander kind of fits in that. Jonathan kind of fits in that. It's because like strategically they're not seen as threats. Like a lot of I feel like with the POC rule and Big Brother Canada, Big Brother Survivor, like we've seen a huge uptick. I feel like in strategic maneuvering and strategic gameplay. And no shade, a lot of these Caucasian males, they were never given that.
See, but the issue with me is like, keep going.
So it's like when the other strategic players are trying to get out other big threats, they're not worried about Xander. They're not necessarily worried about Jonathan because they're nothing to be, getting out.
To be concerned about. That's true. It's just annoying because at first they were strategic, but we still love them. And now they're just not strategic, but we still are letting them get fired. It's like, get these white men out. The moral of the story is next season, I need all the white men gone. Like BB23 knew what the fuck they needed to do.
Oh my God.
And they did it. So, hey, I said it. Oops. I don't know. But, child, let's look at these motherfucking draft picks. And listen, y'all, I just want to be winning by a lot. And I'm not, I'm not. So, first of all, why are we merging so early? Like, it just seemed like nobody really went home. But, hey, we moved. This is merge. So, everyone here is in the merge. They're all going to be
not officially.
Together. Girl, whatever.
Well, they're gonna meet, but you know how Jeff is weird because the last two seasons technically they weren't at merge when City and Lydia went home. That wasn't merge, so we know they're going to be coming together next episode, but we don't know what Jeffrey has up his sleeve, chat.
So this is almost a merge, though. So we know for a fact that we're kind of looking at these players as almost a whole, and in that scenario, I'm on my tribe. I'm looking at James and Jesse.
Yeah.
And Carla.
And on mine, I'm looking at Owen, Sammy. Yeah. Dwight. Dwight Engineer like tier 2. Dwight Engineer and Cassie are tier 2. And then the bottom is Gabler and Ryan.
And that's the thing, like thinking about Edgic, considering Edgic on my tribe, the only people who could even win is James, Carla, Jesse, and what is that white man's name?
Cody.
Cody. I genuinely forgot. I'm so sorry. But according to Edgic, they all have a chance to win, essentially.
And I think Cody fits in that archetype as well. I think Cody probably going to be here for a while, especially when merge hit, because is he going to be seen as someone that needs to go?
Exactly.
Honestly, maybe even Gabler. Unless he probably going to start annoying people again.
And according to Edgic, Omer.
There's too many men here. Ciao.
So many. Omer, Sammy, and Cassidy, I feel like have a chance to win according to Edgic. I don't think Dwight's Edgic is just good enough so far. So I would say Sammy, Cassidy, barely Cassidy. Sammy and Owen on your tribe. So it's here and there, y'all. I don't know, girl. We'll see how it goes. At merge, we get a better sense of the dynamics, so we can get a better sense. So
yeah, because I feel like last season's merge, like I said, it really shook everything up. So we'll see.
I forgot about this. They said Gabler's going to be immune next episode because it's idol. That's the thing. Yeah. Gabler's playing his idol, so Gabler's not going home regardless.
Unfortunately.
Janine doesn't have a vote and Jesse doesn't have a vote. So we'll see how that... Because that's the thing. If he splits them up, let's say hypothetically he splits them up and Jesse ends up not going to tribal, that means Jesse still doesn't have a vote at the next vote. So, girl, we'll see, child.
We'll see, child.
That's that on that.
I will be winning.
Hopefully not, girl.
Once again.
Do y'all know how bad it feels to just lose and lose and lose and lose and lose?
I mean, hey.
So embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. So hopefully I can win.
You got God on your side.
God loves me. And I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? But anyways, y'all, that's that on that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week on Wednesday when we'll be doing another live right after the episode to cover Survivor episode 6. It is going to be the fake merge, whatever the fuck they're doing. Make sure y'all check out tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Amazing Race. Then we're going to be doing the challenge. So make sure you check those videos out. We'll do those every week until the show is over. Total Drama Island is coming out. Keep your eyes peeled. This is similar. Survivor similar to Total Drama. So that's why I had to mention. All right, bye, y'all. The fuck.